Hi car guys and petrolheads, my name's Philip and I'm the CEO of Driver, Germany's biggest supercar sharing platform. And today I'm going to take you out on the German Autobahn, show you how to drive 300 kilometers per hour and what to be aware of, which time you should go there, which car you should take, and how to have a hassle-free adventure. See you later. So for today's ride I choose the McLaren MP4 12C, which is a pretty extraordinary good car for a German Autobahn experience. Why is that? So the McLaren has a power output of over 600 horsepower. It has an extremely good power to weight ratio. It has a dual clutch gearbox, so no shifting required, which is pretty good in terms you need to concentrate while going over 300 kilometers per hour. And it has an extremely good and stable chassis, so perfect conditions to bring us out to the Autobahn. Let's go guys. So let's have a look what you should consider before going on the Autobahn. This is only a brief look guys. We will make a further series out of these videos if you're interested in how to exactly find a good spot of the Autobahn, how to exactly find the right car for you, and so on. So I will just give you a brief intro. So the first thing you want to make sure of, you find a good spot on the Autobahn. You know, there are thousands of kilometers of Autobahn, but they are pretty different. So there are 2-lane Autobahns, there are 3-lane Autobahns. Of course you want to have a 3-lane Autobahn, because otherwise traffic might be kind of a problem and you might get stuck in traffic and not be able to reach high speed. So that is very important. Next thing is you want to make sure that there are no construction works, because with construction works, of course, there are speed limits. Mostly they're even down to 80 or 100 kilometers per hour. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to pay for any fees or want to lose your license or whatever. So yeah guys, make sure that there's no construction at all on the spot you wanted to choose. And of course there are crowded sections on the Autobahn and there are not so crowded sections on the Autobahn. So of course you want to choose some sections with less traffic in general, so you can be sure you reach your top speed. Second thing you want to make sure is to choose your car wisely. I know there's a wide variety of sports cars and supercars at all, and some of them are good for driving on the Autobahn, some are not. For example, a Porsche GT3 RS is an extraordinary good track car, but it's not the car I would personally choose for an Autobahn experience. In general, you should choose a car with at least 600 horsepower, because otherwise you might not make it up to high speeds. You should choose a car with a stable and pretty good suspension and chassis. Most cases it would make sense to take an all-wheel drive there. I mean, the McLaren is a rear-wheel drive, but for example the Audi R8 is an all-wheel drive car, and so it's extremely stable even at high speed. So one of the perfect cars to safely drive on the Autobahn. Okay. I was overtaken by a Volkswagen Passat. I think I might be too slow right at the moment. I'm sorry guys. And the third thing you want to make sure of is to choose the right time to get on the Autobahn. You can imagine there are some rush hours where many people try to get to work or wherever they go, so that's not the best time, and you have them twice a day. And so it makes totally sense to either go very early in the morning like I'm doing today, or to go very late. So yeah, choose your time wisely. Maybe check with some locals what times they would recommend. In the summer times Sun is getting up like at, I don't know, 5 or 6, so it's pretty easy to go early in the morning. Same goes for the evenings. You can also be lucky during midday, so when people are at work, there are also some good times, but please be aware of the rush hours and don't go there, and especially don't go 300 kilometers per hour when there's rush hour. That makes no sense at all, guys. So for today's ride, I chose a pretty good car. As I told you, I chose to drive early in the morning. It's about 8 a.m. and I choose a good time because it's a weekend. By the way, this is another important thing. Between Saturday at 10 p.m. and Sunday at 10 p.m. there are no trucks at all allowed on the German Autobahn. So traffic in general is less than on weekdays. And of course, it's not so crowded there. So if you have the opportunity to go on a Sunday, guys, take that opportunity, take the chance, and take your car for a ride on a Sunday. And I choose the Autobahn number 2, A2, which is a three-lane Autobahn connecting the west of Germany with Berlin. We are right in the middle of that near Magdeburg, and which is, by the way, also the headquarters and hometown of driver. A short POV footage will follow. We will have a POV get over, reach some top speeds, and afterwards, guys, stay tuned. I will tell you what to be aware of, especially when driving on the Autobahn, because it's not so easy than you might think, and there are a few things you should consider just to stay safe for yourself and for others driving on the Autobahn. So stay tuned and see you later. Those things you want to make sure of is a perfect condition of your tires. So as you can see, the McLaren offers to check the temperatures, and before you start, please guys, check your tire pressure, because good tires without any damages and with good temperatures, and of course with the appropriate tire pressure, is extremely important for a safe drive, especially at high speeds. So I'm choosing to take the active handling mode, activating it here now, which makes the aero sharper, which also makes suspension stiffer, and especially the responsiveness of the engine and the gearbox. So it's pretty important that you have the right setup, a not too lazy setup for the Autobahn. And there we are. This is our entry to 300 kilometers, guys. Let's go. helping us slowing down. As you can see, a lot of traffic even though it's early. Drivers. Thank you. So I hope this little ride gave you a pretty good impression what to expect on the German Autobahn. But here are some things you always should be aware of when you drive on the Autobahn. And please guys, take this very carefully because it saves lives and your health. First thing you may notice in the video, you should anticipate other traffic. There are some lazy thinking guys that go from the further right lane directly to the further left lane, sometimes without any notice in a sudden change. So yeah, be aware of those other traffic participants. This is really important, right? Another thing, and this is as well extremely important, is the braking. When you go 100 kilometers per hour and stop to zero, you have a brake length of around 100 meters. At 200 kilometers per hour, we're talking about 400 meters. So it's great. So it's 4 times the brake distance. So you can assume what's up going on there when you are at 300 kilometers per hour. So please make sure you have enough space and distance for braking, especially at high speeds. This is very, very important, guys. Next thing I want to tell you is make sure you have a thoroughly inspected vehicle. It should be pretty well maintained, especially tires, brakes and suspension, because otherwise it can extremely fast go in the wrong direction. So yeah, guys, make sure you have an appropriate vehicle. I'm sure a driver team will help you finding the right vehicle if you're a visitor in Germany and don't own your own car. I'm pretty sure my team is able to offer you a perfect selection of well-maintained and thoroughly inspected cars. Alright guys, that was our little 300 kilometers per hour Autobahn experience. I hope you learned something, I hope you liked it. And I hope to see you guys in Germany someday and choosing driver, getting the perfect car for your personal Autobahn experience. Thank you for watching and see you soon on Driver channel. Bye bye.